steam. Don't let the dangers spoil your day. Look at that plastic scrap, just waiting for someone to do something with it. The SURGESURF factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see. Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Wiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. A SURGESURF factory was one of the cleaner ways to make power, until the surf turned into goo and clogged it all up, that is. The power comes from turning the movement of the surf into surge sparks. Sometimes science is beyond belief. There are sure to be more tracks around here, maybe by the shore. Wuz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go. But says it helps to have friends with you to plumb those depths. They've been here for you since you were a kidling, but when you left, you also chose to distance yourself from everyone that cared for you. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, you can always lay your own course. He feels you've deserved revenge because of how you were wronged. You've suffered enough to make him pay.
Oh, yes! That is deliciously dark of you.
No, you need less dark, no more!
Yes, the dark is as easy as cake. Dark, dark cake.
Spit it out, please! That's awful!
Awfully good, you mean?
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Glad to hear that. He only wishes he was that sure about himself. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Thinks that kind of diversity brings strength. But that's not nearly as important as this. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-go-in. He can't leave the Surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha fingro in the MEKASTADIUM that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. Getting that tool will help turn around the situation for sure. It'll definitely help him unshut the hatch. It's time to do what's right, for certain values of right. That wood scrap seems like it would be perfect for your plans. Hey, you could probably make something glossy with plastic scrap. Got it. Gross. Feeling fierce. Isotope. Darkness cloaks the world. Impressed you found that, despite all the goo. This place has held power for a long time. In many ways, it still does. That would require cleaning up all the goo. Glad you found that track. There's a lot to learn about this world, both here and beyond. Good scrap. Always happy to find that. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. An old home could be something to it. It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough to keep you warm here. Probably a lot of things buried out here. That's the hut. Wonder if there's anything still inside. Cutting edge. Hot metal. Pang, pang. Good hit. You need to turn the pegs in sync. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You really put a spin on it. Bet you could make something shiny out of that metal. Radical. You look good in that. Is that a ray of hope? You found a brick-brack that's not absolutely flat. Don't want to point a finger, but the MEKASTADIUM is near here. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. Don't forget the past. Someone locked it solid. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. That's just nasty. Biohazards make you puke. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's too much distress. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. Nice. Metal scrap. You can always use that.
A pause place.
Probably cleaned out, but you never know. Took care. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need... Well, he means slick, as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo-Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the minute. Wiz heard he's currently stranded at the end of the line, so it should be easier to track him down now compared to when he's running rails. Just walk between the raindrops, right? The world needs saving. Make the most of the day. You found SNODESBURG. Such a neat village. See that plastic scrap over there? The Myriad tribe has become more... Well, looky there. A broke-down home. Might still be worth poking around. Hey, nice shot. Knock it all around. Just stay down. This one seems to be in good is great.
Getting brighter.
Oh, no.
Can't.
That was...
I have a shop.
You need to get the keys in sequence. Just a few moves left. Make them count. So, the technology from yesterday's is still here today, even if its message is getting old. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. It's so vibrant out during daylight. Not going to... You can never have too much scrap, plastic or otherwise. That's Punchy's place up in that little blimp. No better upgrade bench,
Himatu, Saina,
says the shop.
Latino Mafayud on.
Good value. Fair and square. Says you'll meet. Let's see. This might be the end of everything as we know it. Wonder what you could make with that. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go, likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Thinks that's fine, but there's no path in this world that's not been already made. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track. Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run.